This is the Joby Wavo Air dual wireless mic system. Now, full disclosure, Joby sent me this to review, but they were very specific in saying that they wanted my honest opinion on it, which I find quite brave of Joby, because as regular viewers to this channel will know, I'm very critical about anything audio, particularly mics. So Joby must be pretty confident about the Wavo Air. Inside the box we've got the two wireless transmitters with built-in mics, we've got the receiver, there's charging cables for each one of the units, we've got two windshields here for the transmitters, we'll be putting those through the paces soon. There's a TRS cable for connecting to a camera, and there's even a TRRS cable for connecting to a phone, which is a really nice touch. There's two lav mics provided to plug into the receivers, and then there are all these cool mounts like the magnetic pendant, the cold shoe support, the clip-on mount, and there's even a GorillaPod leg clip. And we've got this cool modular design which comes with a lot of different mounts. So we've got two clip-on mounts here, one for each receiver. We've got this magnetic mount. So this is the magnetic lanyard, just goes on like that. Pop it under your t-shirt, and then the transmitter just sticks to it like this. Yeah, the transmitters themselves are quite a nice size and they're quite a cool design. The receiver's nice and small, that's nice and discreet, that's going to be a small footprint attached to any camera or phone. Now let's jump straight to the most important thing, sound quality. Okay, so first up, the all-important in-car test. Now I've got the Joby Wavo Air attached to my phone, which is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And as you can see, I've got the transmitter here attached onto the magnetic lanyard. Now people have asked me why I always test mics inside a car. And the reason is that car interiors provide a really unique acoustic environment, because we've got a lot of flat reflective surfaces here, but we've got no right angles. So besides a little bit of background noise coming in from the outside, we've got a more or less dead space, which is an ideal way to test the sound quality of a mic. So what we should be listening out for here is the overall quality, the clarity of my voice coming through. Is there any noise or hum in the silent sections between the dialogue? And are we getting any kind of slapback effect that's making the vocal sound thin or tinny? Okay, so next up, we're going to attach the wind guard to the transmitter, and we're going to hit the forest trail and see how that fares outside. Now, according to UAV forecast, we've got gusts of up to 41 miles per hour today. It is really windy. In fact, it's too windy to even fly our drone today. So this will be a really good test of how the Wavo Air performs outdoor in high wind conditions. Okay, so here we are on the forest trail. I've got the wind diffuser attached to the transmitter now. So there's quite a lot of background noise. There's a lot of wind going through the trees. There's a few birds singing, which is nice. Now, whenever you attach a wind diffuser to a mic like this, there's going to be a little bit of drop off in the high frequencies. So what we're listening out for is the S's and the T's in my voice. Are they coming through loud and clear? There shouldn't be any woolliness in the bottom end either. The background noise should be subdued, but my voice should be coming through really loud and clear. Need to duck down through the trees here. Okay, the wind sounds like it's really picking up. We've got some really loud wind noise through the trees here, so I wonder how this mic's handling that. We're coming to the edge of the tree line now, so when I step out of here, we're going to be on top of a hill in a really wide open field. So that's going to be a really good test of the wind guard on this mic. So the lights on the units are not just for show, they actually indicate different things. They can let you know the different gain input levels, whether or not the units are paired, and there's even a feature that lets you know when you've got 90 minutes of record time left, which is really cool. Okay, so as soon as I left that tree line, I felt the wind hit me really quite hard. Now, as you can see, we're in a really wide open field now. So the wind's hitting this mic quite hard. So this is a really good test of this wind guard. Now what the wind guard's supposed to do in situations like this is diffuse the wind and break it up before it hits the mic, so that you don't get any of those loud pops, loud wind noise. And because it's so strong, we're inevitably going to hear a little bit of wind noise, and that's okay, but it should be underneath my voice and it shouldn't be interfering with the quality, with the detail in the low end. And with the wind guard working, we also shouldn't be seeing any kind of muffling in the top end. Those S's and T's should be coming through with absolute clarity and really good detail, even when a gust of wind hits the mic. So I'm just going to walk along here. A lot of wind hitting the mic. Let's see how it handles this. This may even be a little unfair because I wouldn't personally use a mic in conditions like this. This is too windy. So if this mic sounds okay in these conditions, that really is testament to its quality. Okay, so first up, I really want to say that was totally unfair. Normally, we would never go out and film with 40-mile-an-hour winds. We certainly wouldn't be recording audio in those conditions. So the fact you can even hear me through that mic under those conditions means we're talking about really good quality here. Okay, so with that said, let's talk about what's missing. There's no onboard recording, so there's no ability to actually record a safe take onto the receiver itself, which I totally get because it's not an essential feature and there's no way Joby would have been able to do that at this price point. There's no ability to record separate tracks for the two transmitters to left and right. They both record onto the same stereo track, but again, this is in no way a deal breaker because it's not a feature that I think the core target audience for the Wavo Air is going to be looking at anyway. One thing I really would like to have seen Joby do with those lights on the units is include some kind of clipping indicator so that we could tell when the signal was coming in too hot. That would have been really useful. So in conclusion, what Joby have done here is they've jumped into what is a fiercely competitive market and produced a really good product. At this price point, there's nothing that really competes with it. And as we just heard, the sound quality speaks for itself. It's a super versatile system, clearly aimed at content creators, absolutely ideal for vlogging, and it seems like Joby have really done the homework on what's required and what that particular market needs. So if you want to check out the Wavo Air for yourself, I've got a link in the description where you can get it at the best price and the fastest delivery. And if you have any questions at all, please ask me in the comments. I'll be really happy to answer anything. Thanks for watching. See you next time.